What's the deal, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? I told you guys, man, I'm dropping every single day. So what that mean? I'm recording content every day. I'm staying consistent. I'm giving y'all some game. I'm giving y'all some realism about all this business funding. You dig what I'm saying? Again, we talking about loans, lines of credit, credit card stacking, revenue-based funding, things of that nature. Yesterday, we talked about revenue-based funding. But today, guess what we talking about, man? We talking about business structure, right? We want to structure our business so we can get approved for those high limits. Now I will say this: does structuring your business really? Because I spoke about this, man, on my Instagram. I did like a little reel talking about this, right? Does business structure matter in terms of really getting high limits, right? In my opinion, again, in my opinion, I'm going to say no. But the reason why you still want business structure is for protection, where you don't want, people, your clients, your customers looking at, where you operate your business, or where I would say, your personal information, right? Such as your home address, your personal phone number, things of that nature. Now, business structure, you can have it definitely. You want it again just for protection, right? But do you really need it to get approved for high limits? I'm going to say no, because the clients that my company has, some of my clients don't have a virtual address, a business phone number, a professional email address, what else? A website, things of that nature, right? Uh, but it is good for protection, and it does make your business look professional when you do go for business funding. So I still always, advise my clients, or just other people as well, to go ahead and get, those business documents before you structure your entity. So guess what, man? Let's go ahead and get into it. Again, that's my opinion. You might hear other people say, you need to set up your business structure the correct way for high limits. My opinion, I can say, that don't really matter, because I didn't got high limits and high approvals for my clients without no business structure, right? Without no regis, without no phone number and all that kinds of stuff. But again, it is good for protection. It does make your business look professional when you do go for funding. So I still recommend you guys to get it at the end of the day. So, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. Business structure. So number one, a lot of people always think, we gonna go for our entity first. No, that's complete last. We create our entity, whether you're gonna be an LLC, S-Corp, C-Corp, whatever entity that you plan on structuring, and also, you don't want to be what's the word I'm looking for, a sole proprietor, right? You don't want to be a sole proprietor. You want to uh separate yourself from the business. You want to separate yourself from the entity. Can you get funding with a sole proprietor? Yes, for sure, right? But I don't think you'll get that max that you may be looking for. You dig what I'm saying? So you want to separate yourself from the entity. So you never want to incorporate yourself or structure yourself as a sole proprietor. Again, you want to be LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or just talk to your your financial advisor, your attorney, things of that nature, right? But for the most part, if you're starting up, man, you're gonna be one of those three, right? So we structure that last, right? A lot of people think you just go ahead and get the LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or the case may be first. No, you do not. When we talk about structuring, no, you do not. This is what we get first. And I'm gonna go, and it doesn't really have to be like in order, I would say, but these are the steps that you want to take, right? So number one, a business address that you can get from regis.com or opus opus.com, right? And what these are is regis.com or opus.com. These are virtual brick and mortar addresses that you can literally walk in and go pick up your mail and pick up your documents that you getting that you receive, rather from, rather it's bank statements, rather it's information from the IRS or the Secretary of State, whatever the case may be, just your mail in general. You can literally go into these offices, right? It's a real brick and mortar, right? That you can pay about, I want to say, anywhere $99 a month. Some on Regis, you might find something for like $60, depending on what state you in, right? Depending on what state you in, you can find something for like $60, $50 a month. Anything on Opus is always gonna be $99 straight up. Anything on Opus is gonna be $100 a month, period. But Regis, You might find some 79, 80, 100. You know, it varies, right? It depends on what state you're in. So you can guys hit up for Regis.com or Opus.com. You want to get that first, right? So now what we're going to do now? So remember, we're buying our entity last, right? So we got our virtual address, right? This is called virtual address. Virtual address. Right? Okay, boom. Where we go to now? We want to go get our phone number. We can get our phone number from our business phone number. So we want like an 800 number or 855 number or an 866 number or 888, 877. Y'all catch my drift. We can go to Ring Central. ringcentral.com or grasshopper.com, right? And those might run you about Ring Central, Grasshopper. They might run you about a good about maybe $30 a month, $25 a month, something like that. You dig what I'm saying? Remember, we want the 888, 800, 855, 877, or just an 800 number, period, right? So, okay, we got our phone number. Where we going next, Aaron? Where we going next? We are going to professional email address, right? I ain't gonna lie, that's what we do want. We don't want no Gmails or no Yahoos and nothing like that. Now, do some of our clients have Gmails and things of that nature? Yes, but that professional email, I say it look way much better than a Gmail or a Yahoo. You dig what I'm saying? So where do we get our professional email address, our email domain? We can go to GoDaddy.com, or we can go to Google. We can go to Google.com to buy our professional email address as well. So we can go to GoDaddy.com or Google.com. Right? When we go to Google, I think we're gonna pay by if we go to Google to buy our professional email address, I think it's maybe like $6 a month. And GoDaddy, I think you can buy it up for a year, right? You can buy your domain name for a year for GoDaddy. I think that might be by maybe anywhere to 70 to maybe anywhere between $50 to $100 for the whole year. You feel what I'm saying? Don't quote me on that, but I think it's around that price, anywhere between $50 to $100 for the whole year on GoDaddy. But I know Google is about $6 a month. You feel what I'm saying? So we got our virtual address, we got our phone number, our 800 number, we got our professional email address. So once we structure our professional email address, we want it as info@thebusinessname.com, info@thebusinessname.net. Like my professional email address, you guys can hit me up on is info@jm-enterprises with an S at the end of enterprises.net. So that again has info@jm-enterprises with an S at the end.net. And I got that from GoDaddy, right? So you can be customer service at thebusinessname.com or .net. It can be support at thebusinessname.com. So we want something like that. You dig what I'm saying? So we got our professional email address, right? And again, this structure that we're doing, it makes us look professional. Again, we really don't need it for funding, but for protection. And we don't want people to know where we live at. And, we don't want to give the IRS our personal information. We don't want to give the Secretary of State our personal information. This is what this is for. This is for protection. And again, when we're dealing with clients and customers, they can look us up on the internet. You dig what I'm saying? So we want all this structured the correct way. So again, for business funding, it really don't matter. But for protection, I still recommend you to get it, because you don't want nobody just popping up at your house like, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? We don't want that. You feel what I'm saying? We don't want nobody calling our personal number. That's where the Grasshopper Ring Central come in to play at. We got the business line. You feel what I'm saying? So okay, we got the professional email address. What else we need now? We can have our website. We can get our website from GoDaddy.com again. Website, GoDaddy again. GoDaddy.com website. And also, right, with GoDaddy, they have AI builders. So if you don't know how to create a website, you can always go to Fiverr.com for somebody to build your website. That's fiverr.com. They can build your website. You know what I'm saying? Or you can go just strictly by the domain from GoDaddy, write your domain website name, and they have AI builders that can build your whole website, whole website in the blink of an eye. You feel what I'm saying? So got our website, cool. Now, a lot of people say we want to list ourselves in the 411 national directory, right? List yourself in 411. Now, do we have to list ourselves in the 411 national directory? No, but we can do it if we want to. You dig what I'm saying? And I do know Ring Central, it helps you. Ring Central literally does it for you. If you want to list yourself in the 411 national directory, Ring Central does do that for you. But it's not something that you just need to do to get qualified for fun. I know a lot of you hear these gurus, you hear all these gurus, list yourself in the national 411 directory. You don't got to do that. I'm just going to be completely honest. That's up to you. If you want to do that, it doesn't really make you or break you. You feel what I'm saying? So these are the important things, right? Then we knock all these out first. The reason why we want to knock, I kind of spoke on it previously. Reason why we want to knock all these out first is because we want to hand all these business documents to when we go structure our entity, right? And I always recommend people as well, because I'm about to give you where to go structure your entity at now. We want to we rather go to LegalZoom, or we can go to busy.com, right? LegalZoom or busy, right? That's when we go. Once we got our brick and mortar virtual address, once we got our phone number, once we got our email address, it's up to you if you want your website or not. It really don't matter, but you'll get the website eventually. But once we get all that stuff, now we go to LegalZoom or Busy. I'm gonna tell you now, LegalZoom gonna bust your head open, especially if you're in California. They're gonna bust your head open for like $800, $900. They're gonna crack your head open. So if you're not in the state of California, you still can go to LegalZoom or Busy. I recommend you just go to Busy. It's super simple. You dig what I'm saying? And Busy will do everything for you. Especially now, can you structure your entity for free? And then pay the state fees, of course, right? You can go to your Secretary of State and then go to IRS. Then you can go to irs.gov to get your EIN number for free, right? But if you don't know how to do all those things, I always recommend people, man, just let the professionals handle it. So that's where LegalZoom or busy.com comes into play. You dig what I'm saying? So again, after we get all this right here, we send them all that business information. We got our virtual address. We got our email address. We got our phone number, right? Those are the things that's the most crucial things that we need. And once we go pay for our entity, right, we give them all that stuff. Because if we don't do this, if we structure our entity first, then do this after, we completely backwards. We just gave the IRS in the Secretary of State all our personal information. We gave them our phone number. We gave them our personal email address. We gave them our personal address. No, that's why we want to structure our entity last. So we want to hand over all these documents, because this is business. This is not personal. This is all business. So again, I appreciate you guys for tapping in with your fella. Again, I'm dropping every day, man. You dig what I'm saying? If you guys need help, definitely with getting some high limit approvals, things of that nature, I'm going to go ahead and drop my job form, my link, and I hold a webinar class every single week as well. So tap in with your fella. I'm gonna drop that link in here in the description as well. So make sure you guys sign up for my free webinar. Or again, if you want to hit the job form, you can do that as well. You know what I'm saying? And we go from there. But I appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna keep dropping every motherfucking day. You dig what I'm saying? Let's get to it.